This is a social lean canvas. A lean canvas is a one-page overview of a business plan or project. That means that it is easy to get an overview of the problem, while at the same time really understanding the different components that make up a successful project, social enterprise, or project. This video will go over the different aspects of the social lean canvas and what things you'll need to think about. Notice that for each of the different sections, there is a prompting question that should help you identify what things to answer in that box. So first up is the purpose. So what social or environmental problem do you want to solve? So for example, this might be combating plastic in the ocean. It is a big overview problem, so social problems such as sustainability tend to be quite complex in that there's lots of factors that make it a problem. As a result, there's lots of little mini problems identified with that. So with the example of plastic, and we know that plastic straws, single-use plastic bags, excessive food packaging are all part of a bigger problem. Underneath the purpose is also the problem. So it's really important to understand the difference between these two, where the purpose is the big picture plastic problem, perhaps. A smaller one would be a more specific part of that problem that you want to address. For example, if I'm working in a social context and I want to address inclusivity in the skating community, that might be my bigger purpose. The problem would be that there is very limited skateboarding gear that with more inclusive design. So that's a really specific problem that forms part of my bigger purpose. The impact is what my intended outcome is. So for example, I want to see more girls at the skate park when I go skating. Or for plastic, I want there to be less plastic in our beach cleanups, that there's less available, or I might want to see less microplastics in my food, but we want a really specific intended social outcome. Right, when we're talking about existing alternatives, the thing about social problems is that there are usually already people that work on this problem. It might be organizations, it might be individuals, it could be companies, it could be businesses, it could be not-for-profit organizations. And it's really important to understand how you might complement their work, but also potentially how their work might make your idea useless because they do such a great job of it already. So it's important to understand what else is out there. And this often requires a bit of research. Next up is your solution. What do you propose to do about this part of the problem that you are going to identify? After that, we want to talk about what is your unique value proposition, or also called a UVP. This is, why is your solution better than any of the other solutions that are out there? Most problems have got other people that have tried to solve them. And so what is so special or unique or different about your solution that other people are not offering? Why is yours worth paying attention to? And why is yours a standout idea? This is an important aspect of a successful project or business because it's your ability to stand out and solve a problem in a way that other people may not have been able to, that really allows you to innovate. Your customers can sometimes be paying customers, but it can also be stakeholders and other types of contexts. So for example, not-for-profits might not necessarily have customers, but they might have communities that they work with. In a sustainability context, this might involve your local community, it might involve local businesses, and you may actually sell a product and actually have customers. It is really important, however, that you identify who are the people that you are targeting to solve a problem for, because that's ultimately what this is about. You are trying to solve a problem. Who are the immediate people that you are trying to solve that problem for? And it's important that we are really specific. So we don't want to just say for government or for school kids. We want to be far more specific. The next part of that is also, how do you get to those stakeholders or customers or target groups that you want to be looking at? So for example, if I wanted to develop a e-platform online, a website where students could contribute to saving dolphins by helping us process their data? How would I get to these students that would help process the data? If you're interested in this kind of thing, you might want to check out Zooniverse, which does just that. But the channels is how I'm getting to these people. So for example, if I wanted to, if I'm really interested in overfishing, how will I even get to the people that I need to work with around overfishing? Have I got a contact? How have I got someone else that will help me with this? The unfair advantage is what is it that you have that no one else have that means that you are more likely to be successful at managing this project and making this project a success than other people. It's different from the unique value proposition because the unique value proposition is what's unique about your business idea, whereas the unfair advantage is what means that you are going to be successful where other people haven't. This is worth thinking about because each of us brings different strengths, but also brings with us different networks of people in our life that can act as resources to help us succeed. The key metrics is a critical part because this is how you will know that you are successful or not successful, whether you need to change your plan and adapt your plan. Different people have done this in different ways, and it's really important that we select a range of ways to determine if we're making a difference. So for example, people might have done interviews, they might have sent out surveys. I'm sure everyone has participated in a survey before. There are other types of data collection that we can use as well, such as using metrics on websites, such as observational data, and a whole range of other tools. Finally, we get to the costs. So it's important that when we talk about costs, not only that we think about a budget in terms of the money it's going to cost us, but also the amount of time it will cost us, the effort, other people's time and effort, the emotional commitment and the social cost as well. Sometimes when we commit ourselves, there is a social cost of not being able to do other things in your life. So it is important that we consider all the costs. Finally, there is a resource and revenue streams. Where are these coming from? What resources do you already have available to you? What might you have access to? Who might financially be willing to contribute to this idea? How could you raise capital or raise money to help your idea get started? So once you've completed this lean canvas and you've considered all the aspects of this, it usually means that you've got a pretty concrete business or project plan, and all the different parts of it has been thought through really carefully. Following this, that's when you start validation.